Welcome to the AI for Interior Designers podcast, where creativity meets cutting edge technology. In each episode, we dive deep into the world of artificial intelligence and explore how it's revolutionizing the interior design industry. From AI powered design tools to the latest trends and innovations, we've got you covered. So plug in, relax, and let's embark on this exciting journey together. Welcome to AI for Interior Designers podcast. P.S. This intro was written by and voiced by AI to sound like your host, Jenna Gaidusek.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back for episode 25 of the AI for Interior Designers podcast. I am your host, Jenna Gaidusek, and wow, episode 25 already. I can't believe it. I just kind of started this podcast because why not, right? And here we are, 25 episodes later. So thank you all for listening every week. And I try and keep these informational, bring in a few guests, just kind of talk about whatever's on my mind, honestly, that week, because AI changes so quickly. So while I do have guests that come in and I've got a few more scheduled here as we get into the fall, generally I just kind of talk about what is happening or something that I've seen in the past week or couple of weeks in the world of AI as it either relates to the tech side of it or the design side of it. Today, I kind of wanted to talk about, well, not kind of, I do want to talk about fakeness using AI and how how it started and how it's going and just all the crap that goes with it. If you've been listening to this podcast or if you've taken a class with me, you know that as much as I love AI and I love technology, and I just kind of explore all of the things, I am very cautious at the same time. So I'm cautiously optimistic is how I like to put it. So when people ask me, how do you see the future of AI? I'm like, whoa, loaded question. First of all, I have no idea. How can you predict that? We don't really know. But there have been some things that have changed with the growing availability of the technology, just as people are starting to explore the capabilities of it all. And part of that is video. So I was going to talk a little bit about video and kind of what that all means for deep fakes and just our perception of reality. Honestly, it has shifted or it will be shifting very rapidly. So where I see it right now with AI in our industry, in literally every single other industry at this point in time, is that we are just getting started. And so the technology is going to evolve. It's going to become insanely realistic, but also second nature to what we're doing, in our jobs and our everyday life. The way that I look at AI, and I think a lot of industry leaders look at AI, is that it is a tool. It will never be as smart as you as a human, so they say, in your area of expertise. Okay, in that one thing that inside and out, you are put on this earth to do that. AI can never compete with that. You're a human. It's a robot. It has numbers that it's basically coming up with to decipher and answer questions. But you live in reality. So you understand things in a dimension that a computer just never will. So for that will never replace anything as far as humans go, hopefully. But there are things that are really gonna mess up some people, if I'm being totally honest. And that is because things are so fake and it's so easy to make them. So my whole thing about all of this is that my kids are young, okay? They are coming into this world where AI is just getting started. So if I compare this to myself, I was in school before Google, right? And then when Google came out, it was just oh, well, just Google it, And then it became second nature. Just when you're in math and they're well, you're never going to have a calculator in your pocket. And here we are. But that's kind of where our kids are right now in school, where AI is just starting to be introduced, not even in elementary and schools like that. It's just not being talked about because they are still learning to read and write and do all of those things. But I would imagine very soon is going to be integrated into the curriculum over the next few years as just here's what it is. My daughter started learning coding in first grade, and it's a different world that we live in from when I'm a millennial, but I'm kind of in the middle here of boomer generation with my parents, and then these younger generations right now that grew up with technology. Like I didn't in my youth. I grew up with the computers that you had to log into. We had dial up, we had AOL CDs, we had printers that you had to get the perforated edges off of after you printed something. So I see the bridge of the technology from my generation, my parents' generation, and the lack thereof of technology to you can't leave your bed without seeing some form of technology in this day and age, right? So I feel like people that are millennials around my same age in our 30s, we have this really interesting perspective. And now watching AI come up and like, get as big as it is, we're just watching it all happen again. So we are watching it again, but we're watching it in like this crazy fast sped up pace where it's going so rapidly that like it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, I'm saying that and I explore AI every single day, but it's a lot. So let's talk about some of the repercussions of like how fast and furious this technology is coming and where we're at right now with it. And then maybe some things that you can do to like protect yourself in the future because this stuff's going to get wild, man. It's going to get wild here real quick. Okay. Let's start with some video stuff. So I think of it from the perspective of my 8-year-old daughter, right? She's on, her videos. She typically just watches like Netflix now. We've pretty much put the stop on YouTube. I know there's workarounds that she's finding, but she's a good girl for the most part. Like she's just getting on there to watch her stupid craft shows. And I say stupid because they're not really crafts. It's like, okay, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. YouTube Kids is still also terrible. But anyway, so she's getting on there and she's seeing all these videos, and it's fine in my opinion if it's coming from like Netflix. It's been somewhat filtered. Yes, they're not all great on the kid stuff, but at least it's not like a random person uploading a video to YouTube. When she's on YouTube, because obviously she doesn't have social media, but when she's seeing some of these things, I always wonder, like, does she know that that's fake? Because sometimes she comes and she's like, hey, this family was doing this and this family was doing that. And I was like, oh, I've got to block that family because we're not doing that. We're not doing these like influencer family things here at my house. And so I don't let her watch them unless if like they're educational or if they do science or like craft stuff. So anyway, when I'm seeing that and she's asking me things and she's like, well, these kids got that and these kids got that. I'm like, yeah, because that is literally what their parents' job is to ask for people to sponsor toys that they can open and play with to get views, to get paid on social media. Their minds don't understand that, right? Like, so they don't understand the fakeness and the fact that like these kids are spoiled and get every toy ever because that's how their parents are paying the bills, and they have a YouTube channel for it or TikTok or whatever they're doing. So they are earning money that way, and the kids see it as, well, they just get all these toys and why can't I have all these toys? But what I'm getting at is that the reality of the perception of what they're seeing in these videos is already distorted from this younger age because they don't understand influencers, they don't understand the payment, they don't understand the extortion of their children. That's a whole other topic. Well, maybe not extortion, but you know what I'm talking about. How they're using their children, I guess is a better word, to make tons of money and do all of that stuff and live this lifestyle, but at what cost, right? So anyway, I'm sorry, I get so fired up about this stuff because like I really try and stay private on social media as much as I can and only show the parts of my life that I want to show. And then you get all these people that are just like throwing it all out there and it's like, what's real and what's fake? And that's without the AI. That's just like people putting on a show for social media and for YouTube channels, right? So if our kids are already being raised on this perception of this is reality, they're not watching the Sunday cartoons that we used to be watching. They're watching families go out and like, do things to be paid for those things. And they think that that's real life. So when they're watching these, they already don't know what's real and what's fake, right? So now we throw AI video into the mix and that just changes everything. Like everything. And not just for kids. It starts with the kids, but they're also here's my thing. Like if our kids now don't even know what's real and what's fake, now you throw AI into it, they will grow up always questioning every single image, every single video that they see because they don't know if it's reality or not, right? So for us, growing up, we had movies. They were clearly CGI. Like, until honestly recently, and even still now, videos were like, okay, well, that was obviously on a green screen and that's fake. And it's like, it's all CGI in the background. And like, that's how they film this. But the images are getting so much better and so much more realistic. I did this series of prompts yesterday for people, and I will be sharing all of this because I'm super excited about it. But like high fashion models and the photorealism of these images that I was getting and these interiors that I was doing on Monday, I couldn't tell the difference if it was real life or not. And I made them with words, unless if you look at some of the like hallucinations, because I was doing it over and over and over again, where they start to like lose fingers or gain fingers and stuff like that. 9 times out of 10 these days, images with AI are coming out and they are looking good. It's hard to tell the difference. So that's where we're at with just AI imagery, right? Like the photorealism in the past year is insane with the amount of growth. Like it's like every day it just like focused in a little bit more and now it's more and more real. So, with that technology, just with the flat out images that you can create being super realistic, now what you can do is you can take those pictures that you generate in an AI program. Midjourney, I use Visual Creative now, is another new favorite of mine. But if you take these pictures and maybe it's a person, maybe it's a space if you're an interior designer, and I'll talk about a few different ways you can use video in a minute. But let's say you upload this hyper realistic image to one of these video AI programs. What happens if you upload it to like Runway or there's Luma AI? I want to say 11 Labs too, but I actually haven't dabbled with that one just because I focus on the other ones. But I want to say that one is also now doing video. There's so many now popping up and coming out, and it's like, who's better this week? Who's better that week? And it's just a race to get better at making video. But what a lot of these can do is just take your image that you generated in AI, and then you can basically make it come to life with a prompt. 9 times out of 10 is weird at this point. Like just right now, things happen and it's weird, but it's not normal. But when it does happen and it's right, you get a really amazing picture that comes to life in a video. And so what people are doing is they're because they're only like 5 to 10-second clips when you do something like this. You can loop it. So it's like, going backwards and forwards and you can just keep rewatching it, or it can be like a clip that moves on to a next clip. So what we're seeing in mainstream ads and mainstream advertisements right now from really big companies is they're taking those 5 to 10-second clips that they've generated from the picture using AI, and they're basically creating short form video, right? That's all video is now anyway. It's just clips of stuff that's under 10 seconds all smushed together to create something really, really fast. So what they're doing is they're using their AI images and they're creating like different clips and they're creating short videos. So we have companies that have been doing this, like Toys R Us. If you haven't seen that video, look it up on YouTube. So the Toys R Us AI video. We have a McDonald's a video from Japan that recently released. That one's also on YouTube. Coca-Cola is using it for their products. So like product placement, they are like, so aside from video, a lot of these companies are now using AI to generate, like settings and still images for their products. So I saw this Coke one the other day and it was all AI generated bottle. And then they had the label on it and it was in a nice setting, but then you can like create your own product imagery without actually using the product. So for the interior design manufacturers here, the furnishings, I mean, that is now like an option where you can just very easily do that. And there's tools out there that can do it, but a lot of the time you're going to get a weird distortion on the label and stuff with the lettering. It's not going to be exact. So a lot of people will like create an image and then just kind of override that in Photoshop and, these other tools where you can very simply just put a label on it when you have an image or override certain parts to like correct things. So the integration of AI generated imagery, also video, and then our existing technology and professional tools that we've already been using both for interior design and in like ad marketing video space. Now we're just finding new use cases. So clipping together my videos, animating them now, putting them into a sequence that makes sense to generate like a full video that you can use for ads, that literally nothing is real about it. Nothing is real about it. From the image that you start with to the animation, it can literally all be fake. So not only can we create videos that are like this, a lot of these AI generated programs now are starting to lose their restrictions. So like Elon Musk Grok AI image generator, that one came out, and I guess that one has no like restrictions as far as like the likeness of people. So I've been seeing a lot of politicians, other famous people starting to show up in these AI generated images because unlike Midjourney and Dolly and some of these other ones, there's no like lock on that. There's no restriction to that. So it's interesting because like that was kind of the barrier with Midjourney, where it was like, yeah, we can kind of make you a Spider-Man. He's going to be like a Temu Spider-Man, but like you can get him. But now it's like, oh, you want Spider-Man? Okay, we can get you the Spider-Man. So it's interesting to see where restrictions are and where they're not, and where people are inevitably going to do bad things with this technology. And that's kind of why I was hoping video didn't come out before the election. But at least at this point, like, it's not good enough for people to really think that it's real. Like, it still looks like AI now it does, but give it a few months, because some of these things you're just not even going to know. You're just not even going to know the difference. And that kind of leads me to this new debate where, or not new debate, but like, I guess technology that's starting to surface more on social media, because influencers, creators, whatever you want to call them, people that promote or have a good following and engagement on social media, that's what's been selling, right? Social selling, we've proven for the past 5 years, it works, and it's low-hanging fruit because it's cheap technically if you don't have to pay for any ads, and you can build stuff. So we're starting to see these AI, like the face of the accounts are AI people, and it's videos. So it's like, how are they creating video accounts for TikTok, Instagram, whatever, and it's not even a real person, it's an AI person, and then they're growing and they're huge. They're selling stuff, or they're doing bad things. I don't even know what they're doing, but they're out there, and I'm starting to see them pop up more and more. So these are entirely fake people, and they're trying to sell you something. And now they're creating videos, like talking and looking like a person sitting in their car, shooting video just like a normal person would waiting in the pickup line, right? Like, a mom that has an Instagram account that makes videos, like it looks like that. So there's technology out there, but it's kind of a merge of a few different programs from what I've seen that is creating these videos that look more real. So like there's some that'll do it, and like the lips don't sync up and stuff as great, so like you can really tell, but they're getting more and more real. So what I recently watched on YouTube was this one creator was talking about how people can't do this. And then he gave a brief tutorial where he basically went into Midjourney, created like a person, an avatar. And also in Midjourney, you can now create like characters, or you've been able to for a while, but you can create characters and have that character do something in different settings, but it's like the same person, just like doing different things. So it retains the face. Anyway, side note, he just grabbed one image. So he grabbed this one picture of this guy, and then he went to another program, and he basically had a video. The video was of him. So it was him sitting in his car, and it was his face. And he took that Midjourney fake AI face and superimposed it on his face in the video. And then he went to another AI program and created basically this AI script and chose a different voice. So he typed it in, and then the voice said, the things that he had typed in. So it had its script and it was saying those things. So then he basically merged everything together. So he created this like voice, the replace my face type thing in the video. So it was his video with this other AI Midjourney guy's face on it. And then he lip synced with another program the audio that he had created, make it look like this person was talking, and to move his mouth and make it match the sound and the audio. he did this in literally 11 minutes. Like, it wasn't perfect. He was just showing, how to do this, but the video was 11 minutes long, and it is mind blowing to me because it literally looked real. Like, at the end, obviously I know it's not, and the mouth wasn't perfect, but how you can just superimpose your face or somebody else's face on somebody's body and then just like change the entire narrative. I mean, that's the stuff for some AI or some sci-fi movies, right? Like, that's real life now, guys. Anybody could do that. A 10-year-old could do that. This kind of circles back to like the beginning here where I was like, how do you know what's real? Like, how do our kids know what's real? How do grandparents know what's real? So I just told you about audio and obviously video, but think about like the ramifications for, seniors and people that are already like, vulnerable to scams and all of these things that are going on out there with like phone calls and, like calling and saying your granddaughter needs money, and or I'm your granddaughter and I need money and all this stuff, and then they give it to them because they don't know. Now they can literally like take somebody else's voice, and I did it with this podcast 25 episodes ago. This has been around for a while, and you can AI generate somebody else's voice or your voice to say what you need them to say. So if they can get a voice clip, scammers can call a grandparent and say, hey, it's your granddaughter, blah, blah, blah. I need money. I'm in trouble, whatever. Here's how we need to do it. So we have a code word in our house, and that code word is something that we always will work into a conversation. Like, if we feel like we're in a scam situation, like I used to get these all the time from like fake IRS people, and it was bad because, I was young and I was like, are you serious? I owe money. And how do you know? Right? Like, now I think a lot of us just have our guards up. We're already like cautious for these things, but not everybody, right? Like, definitely older generations, like my dad, if he gets something from work about a scam, because they're always circulating things to watch out for, he always sends it to me, and I'm like, I know, don't click that link in the email. Yes, I know. Don't click any links ever unless you know the person. But that's how far we are, like, where they would just be like, oh, well, this looks like it's from this person. They don't look at certain parts of the emails that are phishing for certain things. So that just kind of takes a trained eye and a guarded person, which is what we are all now becoming, where we just don't trust anything that we see unless if we see it with our own eyes. And that's kind of just the world that we live in now. But with that being said, I do have some use cases for video for interior designers and just kind of where we're at, and then where we could potentially be going. If you've seen my Instagram, you've seen sometimes I will post like just some short clip videos. A lot of time I post like the weird ones just because they're so funny, the things that it's coming out with. And this isn't going to be forever, so why don't I just post them now, because it's going to be straightened out and we need a paper trail for how far we have come. So my Instagram is kind of showcasing that, and it has been with like the still images that I was creating using apps over a year ago until like Midjourney started to really ramp up their program. So if you are thinking about animating things with AI and bringing your visions to life or your concepts to life, AI video could do that. So Luma AI is one. I am now subscribing to Runway because it's more robust and I was getting immediate results. Both of these are free, like for you to try. So Luma, you get a certain amount every month or every week or every day or something. I don't know, it changes, I feel like a lot. So that one's free. I actually have never paid for that one. I've only done free stuff with that one. And then Runway is the other one that I've been using. And with Runway, you get like immediate videos, and there's just more you can do with them. So I've just been enjoying that. But I'm just thinking about different use cases for us to either like turn our concepts into walkthrough tours using like the animation parts of the AI video tools, or like, turn a concept board and flip it into an actual design plan. I keep trying to do that when it is not there yet, but I think it would be cool for us to be able to like maintain what's on the concept board, have like a picture of the space, and then like fly in all the samples and like put them on the space and stuff like that, and then kind of do a walkthrough tour. That's kind of where I envision this stuff. Give it a year, we're going to be there, and I think we're going to be there with like way more real stuff. as far as what I mean by that is like right now, you can upload an image and then you can give it a prompt, or you can honestly just prompt too. So like what I'm saying with images, like you don't even need them. It just creates better imagery when it has a source file for some of these programs than to just be like, create this. And then, that's just not always great right now. So you can, take these concept boards, you can take these design VR walkthrough tours, and you can make them come to life with a prompt. Like I've been having like women walk into, not just women, I guess I had families too, like some ladies walk into their kitchen and like wash dishes. Was it realistic? Absolutely not. Was it a start? 100%. Like this is the start of the future of presentations because it doesn't take forever. Like if you can turn a concept board or a photo of a space, like, or your design, like it doesn't even have to be an AI image. It could literally be your work or a before picture that you flip and turn it into something else with AI image generation. Like the sky is the limit with this. You can do short video clips, you can do all that, but like what I'm getting at is you have an image or you have a prompt here in the future, we'll be able to do this, where you don't have to go and do all of the other stuff. You don't have to go and clip out things or do video editing or like manual automation or, like do a VR walkthrough tour. Like the goal is to literally be like, done, and you just type in a prompt and give it a source file and then that's it. And then you can walk away and you've got a really killer presentation that is now automated. But not only presentation for your client, it's now social media, it's now marketing material, it's blog posts, it's SEO, it helps you in so many different ways because video is king right now still, right? Like, and it's only getting more and more predominant in our industry, or not just our industry, but like in life in general. People don't want to see necessarily still frames. They want to see them come to life or move a little bit because we have no attention span to pay attention to anything. So move it a little bit for us and then maybe we'll watch it. These video tools and this audio tool and then the AI generation tool, like there is so much here, but it's just getting started. So I'm going to leave you with this one thought, and that is just to be diligent as this technology starts to get better because it's going to get hyper realistic and all perception of reality is going to change if it hasn't already changed for you. So just be cautious, hopefully optimistic about it all. Look for areas for where you can use it as a tool for yourself. Don't be afraid of it. It is what it is. Just be prepared for it is what I'm getting at here. Just be prepared that it's coming, and it could be beneficial to you in your business or just for fun if you do some side stuff where you want to do some cool videos. But just be aware, okay? Just be aware that this is coming fast and furious, and I am somewhat concerned for our kids and for the younger generations that like they really have lost all perception of reality when it comes to what they see online, and that is their world. So yeah, that's a little scary, but I don't know, keeping it cautiously optimistic for you guys. All right. Well, that's all I got for today. So I will be releasing a free webinar pretty soon. It's going to be in September and it'll be at the end of the month. And it's all about just getting your feet wet with an intro to AI. So I will link that here once it goes live, hoping to do that later today. I'm actually going to release this same podcast today. So you might just see it with the email that I'm going to send out with this. If you're not on my email list, please go to AI for Interior Designers. You're going to want to be on there. I don't send a lot, but when I do, it's like really cool promos or just like really awesome updates that have happened with AI. Like, when Midjourney finally got off Discord and now everybody can actually use it, I emailed you all about that. Happened to be the same day that I released a Midjourney podcast. So I try and keep you guys in the know with that. But there's also a really incredible program that I've been working on literally all summer. I hope you think it's as incredible as I do because it's I think it's going to change everything for you with AI and your education because right now it is a lot and I get it. So I've devised a plan that's going to help you to understand it all and like really broken down easy and like ways that you can apply AI because that is the thing, right? Like if you know about it, cool. Can you apply it? Let's see, because not all AI is actually useful, even though people try and push it on you. All right, guys, that is it. I will talk to you next week for episode 26. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the AI for Interior Designers podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and tune in next week for more AI tips for your design business. See you next time.